What's up, G.I. Dojo fans? Right now we are looking at our G.I. Joe Adventure Team headquarters. Whenever I display my headquarters, I like to fold it up like this, but raise the second level. And I have actually embarked on a crazy project out in the yard. I'm going to show you guys what that is in a moment, but it relates to the Adventure Team headquarters. Okay, so we're in the side yard at my house, and you're looking at a 1/1 scale Adventure Team headquarters. I've been wanting to build one of these probably for like 10 years. The journey really started around 2015 or so. My dad and I tore down the old pole barn in his yard, and that led to me having access to these awesome telephone poles. And so I wanted to make like a raised platform, of some sort, maybe a deck, or I wanted to utilize the telephone poles in some kind of way, shape, or form. So I had them laying in my yard for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, and finally ended up cutting them up, using some as a mailbox post, and used a couple other mailbox or telephone pole pieces for different stuff. But I finally, in the spring of 2024, this year, I went ahead and built the base for this building. Now, I'm not a carpenter, I'm not very skilled, but I've watched a lot of YouTube. I know I probably need to make some structural braces just to tie these poles in, but they are concreted in, and the whole base is 2x6s bolted to the telephone poles with drills, holes drilled all the way through the telephone poles with big carriage bolts. And they're sitting on like a shelf that I chainsawed. You'll see in a minute. Chainsawed the top of the telephone pole square. So yeah, looks like a mess right now, but I'm not a carpenter, not very skilled, so I did everything 8x8x8x8. I've only made like 6 cuts to get this far. I made 2 cuts to make 2 of the 2x6s short enough to fit on the inside of the others, and then for the two wall studs, I made 2 cuts in each, so six cuts total. So let's take a look at the base here real quick. Again, this has been here for a couple months. Got a little wet during the crazy, unseasonable, insane rain season that we had. From May to October, it rained like record-breaking amount of rainfall here in North Florida. So yeah, we got cheapo 2x6s. They're not pressure treated or anything. Put these joist hangers in place, and then you can see I kind of squared off the telephone poles. And where's my carriage bolts here? Big carriage bolts all the way through on all 4 corners. And then up here I got this thin plywood first. Wasn't thick enough to go over the 2x6s. Then I added some OSB on top to make it a lot more firm. Unfortunately, that did get wet. A tarp that I had failed. So I'll probably end up going another layer on top because it's not that wet. It's just a little bit wet. So gonna do another layer OSB on top of this, build the floor up a little bit more, throw some insulation in here, and wood paneling on the outside. I'm debating on T111 board or metal. Both will evoke the Adventure Team headquarters, and it will be green and with orange trim. Both types of siding will kind of evoke the Adventure Team headquarters, but just trying to figure out costs, the price, the durability, weigh out the factors, because I am on a really tight budget. So that's why I finished everything from the floor down back in March and April, and then everything up I did over the last 2 weeks, because I finally got to a point where I had a little bit extra money to spend on some 2x4s. Now, if you've never framed anything before, you're gonna see a lot of conflicting stuff on the internet. You know, everybody wants to build everything with screws, and then true framers apparently use nails only for wall studs. Now, the reason behind that, if you're not a carpenter, is because screws pull everything together so secure, so tight, so permanent, but screws snap under like hurricane force winds. Whereas nails bend, and that you need that slight flexibility that nails offers, so your whole structure doesn't just completely fail and fall to pieces. So I nailed the studs together, and then I used one screw in each stud on every side. So I did the best of both worlds. I pulled everything in tight with screws, but then I got the nails for the flexibility. Now I just got to design a roof. Probably gonna go with like a flat roof. You know, it's never really snowed in Florida. Okay, ran out of storage there, so let's go and wrap this up, because I am rambling. But you know, it's gonna not be quite one scale with the Adventure Team headquarters. It's just gonna look like an Adventure Team headquarters. You know, I'm gonna run paneling and stuff all the way to the ground and have it floating like, you know, 2 inches above the ground so it doesn't get wet. And so, you know, from 20 feet away, it'll look like it's like a 2-story building, but really it'll just be 1 story with some storage underneath. And, you know, I'll make it look like a stacked, you know, a Adventure Team headquarters with the 2nd level pulled up. And I'll probably do 1 panoramic, you know, this will look like the Adventure Team door. It's kind of hard to say, really put to words the design that I have in my head. But you guys will see it over time. And again, it's not going to be a perfect Adventure Team headquarters, but it's going to be pretty close and pretty cool. And it's going to be a usable building. I might put the G.I. Joe collection out here. It's going to have AC and heat. So, you know, we'll just see what the future holds. But I just wanted to give you guys the first update in this project. And, you know, if you got any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave me a comment. That's been Mike from G.I. Dojo, guys. Hope you enjoyed this, and look forward to more in the near future.